In this video, we take a look at shirring. Stay with me and I'll show you how. Shirring is a technique where an elastic is run through the underside of a garment. It has a gathering effect and makes parts of the garment stretchy. You may see this done on necklines or on cuffs. It can also be used to cinch a garment in at the waist, or used all the way down the whole garment. This can also be used as a panel in the back or front of a garment. Shirring lets the garment sit close to the body and is done on light to medium weight fabric. Now, because shirring causes the fabric to shrink and we do want the piece to be comfortable, pattern pieces for shirring are usually 1.5 to 2 times wider than the desired outcome. This allows room for movement and shrinkage. The lighter weight the fabric, the more it will shrink. So if you're using a medium weight, 1.5 times will do, but if you're using a very light weight, 2 times will do. If you're working from a pattern, the pattern's instructions will advise you on what weight fabric to use. So let's get started. First, we're going to need some shirring elastic. You can easily find spools of this online or in sewing shops. The elastic is used on the bobbin side, and the top side just uses regular thread, so we only need to wind it on the bobbin, and we need to do this by hand. So to begin with, we thread our bobbin and start to wind the elastic round. We do this carefully without stretching the elastic. We just want it to wind around comfortably to avoid any distortions in our final piece. And when we've wound our bobbin, we cut off that excess tail. We then load the bobbin and bring up the thread in the normal way. Next, we do a tension test. It should be around 4. But do a few tests to make sure. There should be no elastic pulled up to the front side, and on the back the elastic should lay flat, and there should be no loose loops of upper thread. We set our stitch length to between 3 and 4, and we're ready to start sewing. It's helpful to mark out where we want our rows of shirring. Shirring rows are usually placed about 1/2 inch apart. But you can play about with the spacing and have the rows wider apart, about 1 inch. Or you can alternate between 1/2 inch and 1 inch, or whichever measurement you choose. You can experiment and see how different spacings turn out and which you like best. I'm just going to go ahead and demonstrate with these 4 rows. We take our work to the sewing machine, back tack at the beginning, and we sew with a straight stitch along our line that we've drawn out. Back tack at the end of the row. And when we come to pulling on our threads at the end of the row, take care to give the bobbin thread an extra tug. Because it will stretch as we pull it, it will then shrink down quite a bit, so we want to make sure to give it another tug so that there's plenty of tail to work with. If we just pull it and cut it, the elastic will disappear into the machine, and we'll have to take out the bobbin and pull the tail so that it's long enough to bring back up. After stitching the first row, we need to pull on the fabric, stretching it to its full width, making sure that our new stitches are nice and even as we work along the rows. And remember to back tack at the beginning and end of every row. Carry on sewing for as many rows as needed, pulling the fabric taut as we go. And with our shirring done, we can stitch our seams together. As we work along the seam allowance, we pull on the rows of shirring, stretching the elastic, making sure that the edges of the seam allowance lie flat and evenly against each other, and that the ends of each row are well within the seam allowance. And that's how to do shirring.